This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. All is well. Let's take a look here. In this video, I want to discuss the idea and understanding that not all breakouts are going to work. And the simple reason why we need to get out of breakouts that are not working. But first, let's take a look here. There was a closing high here for 2018. Let's take a look at what happens next. So we come now. There's another reason I should mention why playing breakouts makes sense. You see, if you are playing breakouts and all of this is of no interest. This sideways action that lasted more than a year, maybe even a year and a half, you avoid all this. Now, we can see a breakout attempt that fails here. So since there is no movement and a close above that monthly closing high, there's really no reason to be chasing the stock. And in fact, we can say after the failed breakout here, it's a reason to get out. Another failed attempt here, another reason to get out. Once it starts coiling down, that's indication it's run out of momentum. But then we see why we never give up on a stock just because of a couple attempts that failed. Ultimately, there is a move above this monthly closing high right here. And this is the breakout that would end up giving a good momentum swing trade that lasted a couple of months, moving the stock from about 11 to the highs here of about 19. Not the worst moving instrument at that time. And if you take a look at the quality of the breakout, so we're talking about this breakout here, this monthly price move coincided with the RSI and MACDs meeting the minimum requirements. So we're talking about this period here. And we can see here that it met the minimum requirements because the RSI was well on its way here, moving above 69.1. And we can see that one of the MACDs, if not both of the MACDs, were already trading at 3-year highs. So definitely met the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. This is my own method. If you want more information, there should be some links in the description of the video. Now, this is what I wanted to discuss in this chart. We can see an example, a clear example, a good warning, something we should always remember. We can see that there was another breakout attempt here that failed. So it was trying to move above the prior monthly closing high from late 2019. And it went above it during the month and failed. Now we can see exactly why we need to get out of instruments that are failing to hold above breakout levels, because what happens next is a swift move lower, which means in an ideal situation, we always have to be sensitive to things like this, which means once the breakout fails, our objective is to sell somewhere here below the buy point. In other words, if the breakout is, let's say this is a breakout level, we know that if it is breaking out, good, we want to be part of any upside. But the moment it starts drifting lower and fails, our job is to get out either with a 5% loss, I would say 5 to 8% loss from your purchase price, again, from your purchase price. Or another way of saying this is you want to get out underneath the breakout level. In other words, once it moves back below this level, after spending some time above it, as was the case here, we go above it, but ultimately we drift lower, we fail to hold above that level. That's a failed breakout attempt. You want to get out at that point. So the object of a failed breakout, and there are always going to be failed breakouts. Failed breakouts are part of trading. But you want to get out either with a 5% loss, max 8% at the very most. But you want to get out of the trade after the failed breakout underneath the purchase price, because it is telling you that it does not have the momentum. Now, sometimes it'll come back and break out again, but at least you have to be aware that a failed breakout can lead to lower prices, so you want to get out. And again, here, this was the monthly closing high. That was a target breakout level. It spent some time in the month of February above that level, but ultimately reversed and traded lower. The objective is to sell somewhere around here, or again, use that 5% to 8% stop loss level. And again, remember, failed breakouts are notorious for taking instruments lower. Let's take a look at another example here, and we're going to see a monthly closing high here in 2018, and then there's a couple breakout attempts that fail. We don't close above the prior monthly closing high. Once that breakout fails, you start being sensitive to the idea of a failed breakout, and again, you can use the general either 5% to 8% rule to get out of your trade. And this would actually save you monetary loss. As we can see, prices drift lower, and also you save a lot of headache, because in this period here, the stock held below the buy point for almost a year. So 1 year you save yourself loss of capital, and also no need to be owning a stock that is in a sideways action. So you also save yourself time. There's a breakout here. There's another breakout here in December. So essentially, you're better off waiting for the momentum to start reflecting an appetite for higher prices, and this breakout was the key. Another breakout here. There was another breakout again. Remember, quality stocks are going to break out multiple times. And then there's another breakout here that took place in the month of July. So, by playing the breakout game, you avoid this losing period, and you also are out of the stock when it is adjusting itself and digesting, setting the base for the next breakout. So this base, we can say net was the reason, and is the reason why after resetting, it eventually gathers enough momentum to be able to move higher. If we take a look at this breakout, it managed to take the stock from about, let's call it mid 80s, 85 or so, to the highs right here of about 140. Not the worst kind of move in a couple of months. And we see another recent breakout. And because the breakout did move higher above the buy point, we can see a move from about 141 to the current highs of about 210, give or take, with potentially more upside. I have to say, we've had opportunity of following and tracking the stock with its multiple breakouts since about September. You can see lots of breakout alerts for that same stock, with the most recent breakout alert coming here in July. And there was a couple of breakout attempts in December, as you can see here. And the ones in December and the one in July captured the two breakouts that I think were successful. Again, which is this breakout here. A good breakout there, hence the alerts in December, and then there was a follow-up alert in July. Again, you never give up on a stock just because it's moved higher. Once it resets, it's time to reload. Now, the reason why I thought those two areas looked like the stock had potential, this area here and this area here, is because those two areas of the chart did meet the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. Again, we're talking about this period here. So there's a breakout in December, breakout in July, and we can see that the RSI looked good in both instances. RSI was well above 69.1, and we can see the MACDs were also moving to 3-year highs in each of these breakouts. So definitely has been on our watch list as it broke out over the last couple of months, going back to late 2019, and the reason, of course, is because it met the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. And as I mentioned yesterday, as long as the Nasdaq is trading at all-time highs, this means that such types of moves, explosive moves in the market, are there to be had if you know what to look for and if you know how to time the superior looking stocks in the market. A bull market is always going to be the sweet spot for trading aggressive momentum breakout candidates. And looking for breakouts is something I've done over the last 20 years full time. So throughout all this period from, let's call it 99, I've been looking for breakouts full time, pretty much 24/7. So definitely lots of experience. And again, if you really want to know how to do this for yourself, just understand the power of the ultimate Muathe breakout. Links are going to be in the description of the video. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Love and light, light and love. Namaste.